He looked beyond the veil, and never returned. Once, in a small village nestled between dark forests and misty mountains, there lived a young man named Elias. He was known for his endless curiosity, always asking questions no one else dared to ask. While others were content with their simple lives, tending to crops, trading goods, and telling stories by the fire, Elias wanted more. He wanted to know things. The village elders often warned him about the old ruins at the edge of the forest. "Do not go there," they said. "Beyond those stones lies the veil, and behind the veil are things man was never meant to see." But the more they warned him, the more Elias felt drawn to the mystery. One evening, as the sun dipped below the trees and the first stars blinked awake, Elias made his decision. He packed a small bag with bread, a flask of water, and a lantern. He did not tell anyone where he was going. If he returned, he would have his answers. If he did not, well, no one would miss him for long. The path to the ruins was overgrown with thorny vines and creeping fog. The air grew colder the closer he came. The stones of the ruins were black, as if scorched by some ancient fire, and strange symbols were carved into them, symbols that made his head ache when he looked too long. At the center of the ruins stood a single archway, broken at the top, its edges jagged like teeth. Beyond it was only darkness. But as Elias lifted his lantern, he saw something. He saw shifty in the shadows. The air shimmered like heat over a flame, and for a moment he thought he saw shapes moving behind the archway, shapes that were not human. His heart pounded, but his curiosity was stronger than his fear. He stepped forward, and then I saw. Behind the veil was a world that was not his own. The sky was a deep, endless violet, swirling with lights that pulsed like living things. The ground was made of black glass, reflecting distorted versions of himself, versions that smiled when he did not. In the distance, towering figures moved, their forms twisting and changing with every step. They had too many arms, too many eyes, and yet none at all. Elias felt a whisper in his mind, a voice that was not a voice. "You looked, now you must stay." He tried to step back, to return to the archway, but the ground beneath him shifted. The black glass swallowed his feet, holding him in place. The towering figures turned toward him, their movements slow and deliberate. Panic clawed at his throat. He pulled, he struggled, but the more he fought, the deeper he sank. His lantern flickered and died. Darkness closed in. Back in the village, the elders shook their heads when Elias did not return. They had seen it before. The curious ones always went to the ruins. None ever came back. Years passed. The village grew, changed. New children were born, new stories were told. But sometimes, on the coldest nights when the wind howled through the trees, the villagers would hear a sound, a faint, distant scream coming from the direction of the ruins. And the elders would whisper, "He looked beyond the veil, and now he is lost forever." The ruins still stand. The archway remains. And if you listen very closely on a silent night, you might hear it too, the echo of a voice that once belonged to a man who dared to see what should never be seen. Some say he is still there, trapped behind the veil, screaming into a world that cannot hear him. And if you ever feel the pull of curiosity, if you ever think, what harm could one look do, remember Elias, and turn away.